Hey, you guys. Let's see. I think we're okay. Position. Hey. Thank you for joining me. Um, I'm gonna go through since I haven't seen you for a while. I got a new book, and it's really pretty cool on crystals. And this is crystals of your birthstone. And I was looking at mine, and I have a birthstone that is sardonyx or something like that. And I thought, well, this is a really cool stone. It's orange and black. And I thought, and I have a Etsy jewelry store called Bella Boutique 101, and where I sell jewelry and all natural stones with sterling silver. And I thought, I'm going to order one of those for me and order a few for my store. So I go in and I'm starting to, there's one buyer that I usually go to. And so I started looking at these necklaces going, this is really weird because I feel like I've looked at these necklaces before. And I had, because I had ordered some. I already ordered some of these necklaces with this stone that I've never seen before. And I thought it was the coolest stone because it kind of matches. It's kind of a peachy too. So I thought it was pretty cool. So this book is really cool on use birthstones to enhance your life. So it goes through all aspects of the sun, moon, everything with your birthstones. So it's pretty cool. So it's worth it. It's a beautiful book, very well done, and it has tons of information in it. So um, even if you're wanting to find out stuff on to help other people and their birthstones, that would be good. So let's do some cards really quick before we get going. And I thought these cards were so appropriate. I think I'm missing one. Oh, that's weird. This is one of these days. I know I had another one. Okay. Must not be meant to be used. Huh. Um, uh, the first card that came out in the animal card, I always do an animal card, and it's a play card. And these cards, if you can balance everything in these cards, you'll have a really good life. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. So it's a dolphin card. So it's a play card. So play. The next one is really fun. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And that's the Buddha. And then the last one that came out of the deck was honesty. I cannot always expect truth from others, but I can always expect it from myself, which is true. There's an amen on that one. So if you can do honesty, humor, and play, I think you'll have a really well adjusted life. So if you can focus on that. What was the other one? There was another one. It just like disappeared. My day has been really interesting this way. I swear there was another one. Okay. So I have really been delving into this subject matter, and there is kind of a reason why I'm going to channel a Magi. I think it's going to be really cool. Um, and the Star of Bethlehem is a very interesting subject matter. And I think you guys know um, about how our years evolved. So our years evolved from a monk in the 6th century AD. And he invented the dating system, mostly used in our area, Western world. And I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this. I thought our years started at the death of Christ when he was, I think, 33. But it starts at the birth of Christ at 1 AD. And I thought AD represented after death, and it doesn't. It's Anam Domini is the year of the Lord. And so this monk figured the first year of Christ. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then BC is stands before Christ. So if they go from 1 BC, then they go to 2, 3, 4. They go backwards. And then AD is forwards. And I thought this was just so interesting because have you ever really thought that Christ is so enveloped in our society? And do you ever think about that when a year comes, another year comes, that it stems from the birth of Christ? So they the opposition side cannot stop that. So that is really embedded in us, and I thought that was really pretty cool. How everything is like our years are evolving from the birth of Christ. I thought that was pretty cool. You guys probably all knew that. I don't know if I ever thought about it because see in Mormonism when I was taught weren't taught things like that, and so um, the star of the Magi, wise men, came from the east to Bethlehem. And what this star hasn't been seen since. And I don't know if I've channeled on this star before or if I just talked to my twin about this star. And we may cover that. But the star, when there's a story that when Jesus was born and the star was bright in the sky, that the star actually illuminated to earth in Bethlehem where Jesus was being born. So, like it was bringing Jesus down to his spirit down to his birth from this bright star. And when I have been doing my channelings for the book and talking to Sananda, who's the righteous name, fervent name of Jesus Christ, I asked him what his ship looked like because he has a ship, and he said the Star of David, and I thought, wow, the Star of David, and I go, so what's the name of your ship? And he said, Star of Bethlehem. And so I'm just going to let you take that where you think you want to go with that. So there is talk and speculation that a lot of the Magi, they don't know the exact count of the Magi. They said 3, and the only reason people said 3 is because there's 3 gifts like gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which could be also not correct. There could be a lot of other different gifts. They said the Magi were probably from Persia and Arabia. And they said they weren't kings, as that's been taught to us. The reason we say they were kings is because those types of gift most kings have. The Magi believed in one God. These men gave up everything to follow this vision sight and to follow their intuition of something greater than themselves, which is kind of an interesting thought that these men, because of a vision and astronomy, I'm going to go with that, gave up, walked away from everything to go towards this vision that was greater than who they were. They were astrologers, priestly men, intuitives, I believe. They truly were wise men following a vision. In Matthew chapter 2, they are not called kings, and we are not sure how many there were. Visitors from the east, they called them. They gave gifts which brought wealth to Jesus's family. So a lot of the stuff that they brought gave financial stability to Jesus's family. The gold represents wealth and comfort. Frankincense represents incense or perfume, and myrrh is usually an oil for anointing kings, and it's also a painkiller. So these are 3 things that were documented, but there could have been a lot more types of gifts from people, Magi's, maybe from different countries that we don't know about. So these gifts, these visitors had some sort of wealth to have these gifts. Um, there was a prophecy written 100 years earlier, found in Isaiah, the Old Testament. Nations of the world will recognize the light of the world, celebrate that with gifts and value, it says. So 100 years prior, there was forecasted that there would be a light that will come into this world and gifts would be given to this light. And I thought it was interesting that they picked on 3 gifts because Jesus was 33. 3 seems to be a heavy number with me. Um, and what if some of the Magi were from Africa, Arabia, Iran, Iraq, possibly Asia? They could have came from all over. The Magi do not, now this is an interesting concept. The Magi did not come on the eve of Jesus's birth. It's stated that Mary and Joseph were dwelling in a home when they arrived. So they are speculating now that the Magi came years after Jesus' birth. Um, the Magi followed the star to Bethlehem, blah, blah. Okay, so now Herod the Great, which he was an awful man, tried to kill all the children 2 and under. And this is why they think that Jesus might have been 2 years old, because he wanted to kill the children from 2 and under, thinking he would take out Jesus, the light. Is And so they're thinking that's when the Magi came, because when the Magi came into town, this group of men, wise men, came into town, they went to the king, and because they had a vision that the king was going to do bad things to Jesus. And so they basically warned him, you touch him, you're going to have some bad mojo. And so um, when the Magi finally left visiting Mary and Joseph and Jesus and giving the gifts, um, Herod the Great said that let's see, the Magi warned him of evil intent if he killed the Jesus child. So Herod was ruthless and cruel to his people. And of course, after the Magi left, he put into play to kill children from 2 down. And if you really think about that, the cruelty of that, I mean, we've seen that, I think was it in Moses's time, where they had that, uh, Moses, he went into the river and to save him. Um, and so I think it's just like the cruelest thing that you could ever do is to just murder children. And so Mary and Joseph were warned of this happening, and so they escaped to Egypt. And I don't know if you guys knew that. I didn't know that. So Mary and Joseph and Jesus escaped to Egypt, and they stayed in Egypt until Herod died, and then they came back. And so basically, everything that the Magi gave them helped them on their travels to go and settle in a different land, and which was very interesting. So let's go back. Now, let's see. So I believe, and we're going to find out through this channeling, that there's a long prophecy about this star. The star is not simply sighted at its rising, as it is described in Matthew, but rather descended to the earth, ultimately transforming into a star child. The star then guides the Magi from all over the east in miraculously different ways. And they said that the Magi had great stamina and provisions. So they never wanted for anything on their travels, and they had great stamina. I went on a walk, and usually I get a lot of information when I go on a walk. And I got information of who I'm going to channel. And I'm going to channel a prince. His name's Agua, Egua, and he is one of the, he's a prince, and his father was the one that was following the prophecy, but his father was too old to come to make the trip. So um, his son came in his stead and brought the gold to baby Jesus. Now, this may be controversial, but I got planet Nibiru, that Prince Agua and his father descended from. So we're going to probably go through a channeling on that, because I think there is a opposition on Nibiru. There is a good group and a bad group, and I think this group knew that there would one day on this earth be a son of God that would actually walk the planet, and they wanted to be present during that time and walk with God. Um, and so I think, when I looked up Nibiru, it means a certain language that means point of transition or river crossing. And the Babylonian cosmology is who shepherds the stars like the sheep. So I think these are a group of people that came from a Nibiru sector, and they wanted to be here when the light came down and brought the Son of God. So that's what I want to know, and that's who I'm going to channel. So I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. Oh, so let me go through one more thing. We're in the time of the Nibiru. I think from Jesus's birth to now is a whole time of the Nibiru. It's the first segment of a Nibiru segment of Earth. We're in the season of the Nibiru, waiting for prophecy of the star to return, the light. And then once the light returns, which would be Jesus, we'll go into the second return of the light, which is the King. So my understanding is we are in the season of the Nibiru, which started from Jesus and is continuing till now. And it'll switch over when the light returns. So, okay. So if you guys want to go in with me, feel free. Um, and hold on one second. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of like in space right now. I'm in a planetary system. Oh, okay. They're going to take me off planet. Okay, everybody, we're going off planet. I think we're going to go to their planet, and they're going to speak with us. Planet is like blue. It's a blue planet. It's like royal blue. It's blue as I'm going to it, but I don't think once I go in it, it will be blue. It's blue and white that goes around it, the planet. I'm in a cave. I'm always in a cave. I'm always in stone for some reason. Okay. I'm walking out of a cave. Must have been a portal. It's nighttime. They have a fire. They've made a fire right outside the cave. And they're sitting there waiting for me. Prince Nibiru. Oh, Prince Nibiru. They haven't their planet's name. I thought it's. He says, no, my name's Prince Nibiru. This is my planet. It's named after me. My father is King Nibiru. I'm Prince Nibiru. My son will be Prince Nibiru. It's a succession of name. Okay. Sit. He's telling me to sit. Now he has the head wrap. It's blue and gold with what I can see. He's very dark skinned, very African looking, very handsome, African looking man. And he has kind of just the whole African attire on and multi-gold necklaces around his neck. Lots of gold here. There is him and two other men. These are my consorts. He's calling them consorts. They reside with me. They are with me everywhere. Do not be afraid of them. They are fine. I am working through your language. I am seeing what you speak, and I will speak through you and your words at this time. My language is different. Your people would not understand my language. So we speak yours. This transition was easy. You're easy to come through. You're open. You're open to us because your heart is open. And so you release and let us come forward through you to speak to your people. We wish to speak of these words, for you have many things wrong on your planet. Many things of information need to be corrected. We are not an evil people. We have never been an evil people. We follow righteousness and goodness. Yes, just like any people, species, you have some that go through corruption. We have corrected them. We have punished them. And they will no longer reside on your planet or near your planet or near our planet. They are gone. We have taken care of this through the ages. So there is no reason to fear us. I am Prince Nibiru, and I'm here. Now, we knew of the prophecy of the light. We have talked much. We have read much of this prophecy. Every species wanted to reside on the earth at this time. Not allowed. My people are from a distant relative of King Nebuta, which you know, which she has told you of. He is our king. And he selected some of our tribe to go down upon the earth to assist in the energy and assist in any way we could to support the God child. That was our meaning, our life, our mission. Once our mission was attained, we left. We stayed until the godchild grew to adult. Then you killed him, and then we left. We knew the whole succession. Unfortunately, we were hoping the end would change because we knew that the end could be stopped. Now, I can't tell you more of the end because it may be different than you think. But we were to leave once it was all done through prophecy. We supported the Godchild with much gold throughout his life. He visited us in our lands 40 days and 14 nights. You have read that he suffered in the desert? No, no, this is incorrect. He came to us. He came to my people, my tribe, and he ate with us, and he talked with us, and he taught us, and many other tribes at the same time. Now, good people, you must be aware and never forget the God child. This day represents rebirth. This day, he has given you a gift this day. For you all able to reborn this day. Every calendar year of Christ, you are reborn on this day. Take heed to these words, for this is a gift he has given you. Even though it is on an incorrect day, we take it for what it's worth to offer to you. So you are cleansed every year on this day. So you must remember that. From this day forth, you are cleansed. You are renewed. You are fresh again. Start correctly. Be wise. Be giving and be loving. For you must love. It is an energy that is needed upon your earth. No matter what you love, just love. Now, the light. Yes, this one understood correctly what happened that night. Understood correctly what we follow that led us to the God child. The light moved. The star moved. How could it be so? Because it was a ship. Now, I do not know if you people know this, but I tell you, there are ships in the sky. For if you are here, you must believe. So there are ships in the sky. Now, in these ships lay bodies in pods. Not all people, some. Now they lay in these pods of liquid, organic matter. Their body resides there as their spirit is released out of the pod and is taken to a portal and brought down for a birthing system upon your earth. which makes you human. So, now, as in the Godchild, Sananda, who is Jesus Christ to you, stayed in a pod, his body. His spirit left his body, went to another area, joined spirit with God. They joined together as one, and they come down as a God child. The light from his ship, which is the star of Bethlehem, brought them down into a human body. Magnificent. Think about these words, because God did reside on your planet. A part of his soul resided in the Christ child. The Christ child understood who he was and his mission. He had an oracle, a twin by his side, for strength, for love, and for friendship. Never did that oracle leave him, and they trusted. It is the only one he trusted, because they're twins, and he needed that. And that's why she came, knowing what a hardship this would be. Now I said enough. This is prophecy. All of us here know these things. We wish for you to understand how important this is. It has to permeate your soul. We have to get this into you so you understand, because you need this as a basis of all, because you will need it. I can't tell you more, but you will. You people recognize goodness and mercy. You must give yourself mercy. Very important that you do not be so hard on yourselves. Lighten up. Laugh, play, enjoy. Because there'll be a time where you're going to be challenged, and you may not be so happy then. So now, while you're in the Nibiru state, season, enjoy. I must end this transmission. I do not want to go. I enjoyed this very much. Thank you for letting me speak and be with you this day. I am Prince Nibiru. My father is King Nibiru, and my son is Prince Nibiru. And we end this transmission to you people. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. You guys, hopefully that was, he was funny. He was kind of like Nabuta. Nabuta talked almost exactly like that. That was super funny. These guys are hilarious, actually. I enjoy them a lot. So, okay, you guys, peace out. Good to talk to you. Good food for thought. Um, keep it in your soul. Let's lighten up a little bit. Okay, guys, peace out. We'll probably maybe do another one of these in a while. And if you're on Patreon, I'll just keep going on Patreon. We have had a lot of good stuff happening on Patreon. The book is coming along. I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that we can get this out like the end of this month or the 1st of May. We're booking it, you guys. We're working hard. See you later. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. Bye. And there we go. Bye, you guys.